So, starting off with some cable flies, as usual, and yeah, um, particularly this day, I did feel a lot more on my chest and everything, so definitely got that mind muscle connection after a while. And yeah, um, in terms of my shoulder, it isn't really hurting on this anymore. Well, it wasn't really hurting, but I could definitely feel it, but now it's not really there, which means it's getting there, slowly but surely. And yeah, hopefully one day I'll be able to bench again, which will be one day. And the god awful day, now I'll find out how weak I am after so long of not benching and everything. But time goes on, I'll get there eventually. And yeah, just goes to show how much technique goes into not breaking your body and everything. Well, I wouldn't say breaking my body, but I don't know if it's technique or just a MMA accident that I didn't feel. But that's the thing. Sometimes you just don't feel the thing happen, and then the next day or next time you do the movement, it sucks. It's just life. But yeah, you'll see that I tried something else, which is sort of like a press movement on cable, just to like see what I was capable of, really. So it's like an incline cable press thing, but definitely with this, it felt pretty good, honestly. I didn't feel any pain in my shoulder, um, even while getting it up, which tends to be the where it like goes all weird by becoming more painful, but it was actually quite chill. I got a good pump from it, so a good stimulation. So yeah, definitely a good chest day for once. For once in quite a while, it was actually an alright chest day, and not much issue other than the shoulder, of course, still being poorly. But anyway, onto some cable raises. As you can see, I will do my left side a lot more, not only because my right shoulder tends to be more dominant over my chest, which is also a thing that's fairly annoying, but in terms of size, my left shoulder is a lot smaller than my right, which if you've seen me pose and everything, you'll definitely see that I look like a wanker because one arm's bigger than the other. But with that, it's just like your strongest arm and most dominant, which is my right side. My right side's more dominant than my left, but I don't know how. My parents are both left-handed, which is, I don't know how, but yeah. With this, I tend to do like 2 sets of like my top weight, and then break it down, which I did three top sets of the same weight because I just didn't feel it for a bit, and then I felt it after the third, and then I decided to do drop sets afterwards, which you can see probably around now. I'll do a drop set, 2 drop sets here, and then it's all about intensity, really, because as everyone says, you need to go to failure or somewhat near failure to build muscle, which is very, very true. If you're just doing like 3 sets of 10, you're not really going to do much because you're going nowhere near failure. Even if you do 5 reps or something like that, it's still failure at that point, and you will grow from it, because some people like to put it within ranges of 8 reps. Anything below 8 reps will build strength. Anything above 10 reps is overkill. which I do believe in the overkill part, where you just need to push yourself a bit more. But when it comes to, hypertrophy, it doesn't really have a number on it. You just need to train hard, get progressively better at it, up the weight, or drop sets, or time under tension sets. Stuff like that is stuff you can incorporate, which will help build more muscle, which is what I do every single time. I do drop sets, time under tension, stuff like that. And it works quite well for me, if you can see. But they're all theories. That there's no best way. People are different. I mean, you can try what I do, and it might not work. So you just gotta find yourself, different ways on incorporating stuff. But when it comes to triceps, unlike some people, I find it very hard to activate my triceps. So I do pre-fatigue, which is what I'm trying to do now with some tricep extensions. And that's typically how I've grown my triceps so much, because they used to be literally non-existent. I mean, they're still not that dominant on my arm, but they're getting there. And yeah, I mean, they're more of a slab of meat than a, horseshoe shape, as it will, people like to say. But I mean, I'm fine with that. Mass is mass, But with this, I'll typically do these and then a tricep push down. But my triceps were already cooked from Monday, which I do skull crushes and then tricep push down. Skull crushes being more of a strength movement than anything, and tricep push down and tricep extension probably the hypertrophy part. If you didn't know us, I mean, there's nothing really to do with strength in tricep push down other than you're doing heavy weights and shit. But I don't think you really go that heavy on tricep push down. I mean, it's just like average weight really. If you're pressing 30 kilos plus, pretty average, or 50 kilos, that kind of thing. I mean, if you're not doing those weights, I don't think. Well, at my stage, 2 years plus, you're not really getting anywhere. But when it comes to more, advanced, it's very dependable. I don't even know what I'm saying. But anyway, onto some cable curls, which I would recommend for more of a, if you want to get some. I've lost my words. I'm so tired. But when I say this is one of the best movements, I do mean it, and it's because it puts in that stretch position, which, I mean, behind it's more like behind the back, so it's activating something else. I don't know. But when your bicep activates forward and then back or something like that, which is why I do this and then preacher curls sometimes, because although preacher curl is very, very effective, this can also add some more on, also a bit of pre-fatigue if you want, because I mean, doing regular curls I would say isn't really that effective, to be honest, unless you're blasting gear and you have extremely good bicep genetics. I wouldn't say just regular stand-up curls or sitting down curls are very effective, because I've grown my arms through preacher, which you see right now, and these cable curls, which I'd say I've done pretty decently well in growing my arms, as they used to be very much looking like sticks when I started, but now they look less like sticks, more like slight buffer logs, But overall, a pretty good workout. Although yes, it's a bummer that I can't bench, but I need to do that for my own health and not let my ego get in the way and think, oh, I need to be benching still, because you know, there might be a kid out there that benches more than me. I mean, fucking hell, there's probably a kid that benches 10 times more than I do. I think I even saw a kid on Instagram, 15-year-old, bench 240 kilos, which I honestly think is ridiculous, but I don't even know how that's genetically possible, but clearly it is. Don't know if he's on gear or something, but we'll have to see. I mean, it wasn't even powerlifting me, it was just in his like little home gym or whatever, and yeah, gymflation is amazing. But at least I got 3 plates, which is somewhat the average nowadays, by average means. But yeah, great workout. Nothing much to complain about. I mean, the only thing I can complain about is bench, but that's neither by the by anyway. But anyway, enjoy my posing, and my talk segment will be after the posing and everything. So, I mean, you can see here, shoulders looking pretty dominant, and arms looking pretty good, you know. I mean, chest still needs work, but that's you know, something I can always work on, because I don't have many pressing movements. I mean, especially for now, because I mean, shoulder absolutely fucked, so I can't do much. But anyway, enjoy the why you should go to the gym segment. So hopefully you can see me this time, and yeah, good session and everything, you know, just bodybuilding for that for that day. But yeah, usually I'd be benching, but unfortunately I can't because of shoulder still. Doing exercises now to hopefully get into gear finally, and yeah, hopefully our recovery is all good. But the thing I'm going to talk about today is why the gym is good for you. Because I'll just put it as like almost a sales pitch, because to be honest, all I see is positives. Because yes, you may get crippling body dysmorphia, but that's just a add-on effect, because I'll be honest, once you start caring about your looks, you'll forever be ugly, you know. That's the kind of thing that I like to put it as, because even if you gain like the best physique in the world, you'll still think you're kind of shit, because even when people put on makeup, they still think they look ugly, because without it, they'll just feel ugly, even more ugly, you know. But that's like the pump and everything, but that's basically the only negative I actually see. But now to the positives of actually going to the gym and, you know, stop being, you know, a fat skinny bitch. Now, for all genders, 2 included. So, for male and female, it's a wonderful thing, because here's something they don't tell you in your, you know, regular doctor's office, because they'd rather have you on meds and in, you know, in all their little gadgets and everything. With building muscle, as your like body gets older, your muscle breaks down a lot quicker. So I believe muscle starts to break down when you turn like 35 or something, and it slowly breaks down. And when you're like 60, you'll feel the effects. And then when you're like 70, 80, you're gone basically. And that's why you should train legs too. Boys, stop skipping legs because you think it's gay. It's not gay, it's not girly, it's actually manly. Because imagine deadlifting 300 kilos, imagine squatting 300 kilos. That's a fucking flex. Not many people can do that because they skip legs. But anyway, less of that. We're going to talk about, you know, when you're like walking and, you know, everything, you will think that's just regular. Some people can't walk because they don't have that enough muscle in their legs to walk. I mean, granted, I used to have skinny legs because I was a skinny twig boy. But as time went on, I built up my legs, and I can tell you the benefits. I feel more powerful in my legs. I feel more explosive in my legs, but that's due to me having, MMA along the side of the gym. But when your muscle breaks down, if it has a higher percentage of muscle, when it starts to break down, you'll have more muscle there and you'll be able to walk longer. I mean, I don't think anything's more humiliating than letting someone wipe your own ass because you don't have the muscle or, anything to get up. Because honestly, I don't want that for me, because if I ever end up like that, oh, please shoot me, please. But in my opinion, doing legs, doing arms even, because muscle breaks down everywhere. Doing arms and everything, getting them pretty much as thick as possible, or as thick as you want them to be, you'll last a lot longer in terms of mobility, because mobility is the most important thing for us humans, because there's very few people out in the world that genuinely can't move a single bone in their body or muscle in their body because they're like disabled. You'll take that for granted, but I genuinely don't take that for granted. I know what it's like to be slightly injured and be like, oh fuck, I can't use this body part because of certain things, that kind of shit. But if you just like lift and build muscle, like even for women, you won't get too fucking bulky. Or from some guys that genuinely piss me off, you won't get too bulky. You're not going to become Ronnie Coleman in a day or in years, because that man had genetics, steroids, and boatloads of it. I'm talking, if you can imagine the amount of cycle this man was on, yeah. Ronnie Coleman was on everything. And I hate the argument of, oh, I don't want to get too big. Are you blasting gear? Is this what I'm coming to now? Are you genuinely, do you think you'll become Eddie Hall if you just go like one leg extension? Fuck off. But when it comes to the gym, it also improves your health, like your heart health, because even by not doing so and such cardio, which you should be doing, by literally exercising, say, doing some muscle building or powerlifting or strongman, that's raising your heart rate to the point where your heart's beating very fast. The heart needs like exercise, like every muscle in the body really, because it is a muscle, the more you know. But the more it pumps and the more everything, you're less likely to get blood clots, stuff like that. And that's genuinely healthy for you, because who wants a fucking blood clot? Who wants a heart attack? Not me, because I've heard the kind of shit, especially if it's like afterwards and you're just like a vegetable and you can't physically do anything. So you will avoid that by going to the gym, because you are pumping your heart. So get into the gym. Stop being a lazy gremlin in your room doing fuck all. Come on. Get off the couch. Get off your bed. Go do some exercise. Because I'll always preach exercise, whether if it's football or basketball, gym, MMA, everything. You need to do it consistently. I'm not saying, oh yeah, I just do Sunday night football every fucking once a week. That's my exercise while I down 10 beers every day. Fuck off. You're not doing any exercise. You're just poisoning your body and you're doing fuck all. And that's why I genuinely can't see why people don't go. Because I when I was with my ex, her friends were weren't really complaining. They were pointing out she could eat way more than them and still end up skinny. Granted, she had decent enough genetics to stay skinny, even without training. But when you're training, you burn calories. And guess what? it gets the fat off. You can eat a lot more. You know, if you're a foodie, if you like food, you can eat more. You know, it genuinely baffles me. If you are a fat fucker and you like food, exercise, your greatest friend. You can eat more. You can eat more and get away with it. Like, I honestly, you know. But yeah, these friends of hers were like eating one meal a day. The fuck? Just do some more exercise, because these people were on their asses and the only exercise they ever did was dance in the club or walk fucking home from the club. And it's like, bruh, do some exercise. Stop being lazy. I just don't have the motivation or time. Find time. You have a weekend. Do some exercise over the weekend. And if you're too bored, you're like, no, I want to rest. I want to be lazy and rest and watch my Netflix show where it's got over-sexualization. Fuck off. Do some exercise, for fuck's sake. You have the outdoors, you know, outside your fucking four walls, that you can literally go out and do some exercise. Walk. Literally walk. Touch grass. You gremlin. But, yeah. Going to the gym will genuinely help you physically. And I mean physically. Physically, brilliant. Like, I'll probably be walking by the time I'm fucking, 80. And it also helps your bones, which if you didn't know, by putting weights on bits of your body and, doing flies, bench press, squat, deadlift, it's creating more density in your bones. Granted, I was already dense enough, but by doing all these exercises, your bones will become more dense, and guess what? Your bones also break down as well as you age. So, guess what? Your bone health will be 10 times better. It's all positives, apart from body dysmorphia. But we can all get over that once we get a mighty pump. But that is because it's just our mind, which you need to train your mind too. And not many people do that. But I say train your mind in a healthy way. Constructive criticism, that's all. But when it comes to, the gym overall being better for you, like, if you're not really good at any, like, football, basketball, or anything, the gym, everyone's good at it. I can tell you this, everyone's good at the gym. All you have to do is do certain exercises, which are fucking easy. Like, bicep curl is literally this. Bench press, this. It's so simple. You can do it, no matter who you are. Granted, if you have missing limbs, it might be a struggle. Or disabled limbs might be a struggle, but at least you can improve the parts that are at least there. Because it's always, you have to be better every day. Because you are progressing yourself that way. But yeah, thanks to listening to my absolute amazing sales pitch on why go to the gym. Because go to the fucking gym. Stop being a pussy and being lazy and go to the fucking gym. I know you can do it. So like and sub to this very amazing YouTube channel and you will see some more gym content and whatever you really want. If you want to suggest things, I don't really care. But I'll look at it and I'll go, I can do that. But as well, share this video to a non-gym person if you think my words will get them to get their fat ass or skinny ass off the couch and go to a gym. And don't quit it, because I know all you people who think, new year, new me, just quit after a month. Stop it. I say we'll accept you as long as you try. That's the only reason. But anyway, thanks for watching, really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.